everyone, I'm Ann Richmond. I am a marketing manager here at Roll20, and I am so excited to dive into this digital unboxing of D&D 2024's new starter set, Heroes of the Borderlands. Now, this is the perfect opportunity to invite that person who's always wanted to play D&D but is nervous about the time commitment or how complicated it is into the game and the greater community. It's also the perfect way to teach somebody who's unfamiliar with the Roll20 VTT how to get into it as quickly as possible. The thing that is great about this particular starter set is that it's very modular. So you can run 3 different settings, each with their own sort of opportunities for different types of adventures, or you can combine them all together to create a larger sense of the world. So we've got Caves of Chaos, which is very much traditional small dungeons that take about an hour to 90 minutes to play through. So it really feels like a board game session almost in terms of its length and commitment level. And then we've got your Heroes of the Borderlands Keep on the Borderlands, which is very much filled with shops and role play opportunities and a couple sort of problem solving, I would say, like skill encounters. And then you have your wilderness setting as well. And that wilderness setting is great either for running an individual sort of encounter as an intro to the game, or it's awesome to use on your treks between the Keep on the Borderlands and your adventures through the Caves of Chaos. So when you're setting up your game on Roll20, you can decide to either add these different settings individually as needed, or you can just add the whole thing to your game. You can do so through the product page here. You can just select which one you want to use, open it, and click Create Game with Add-on. Or if you've already created the game, like my very creatively named Heroes of the Borderlands video game, then you can go down here and type in Heroes of the Borderlands, find the full campaign add-on, and add it to the game. You can see I've already done that right here. So once you get into your game, you can navigate anywhere you need to go visually on the tabletop from within this drop-down menu here. Right now, I am on the starter set Roll20 tips page, and this is great to look through, especially for newer people to the VTT. It's going to show you how to open your character sheet, how to change the maps around, how to use token actions, what the hidden tokens look like, how to reveal them, and all sorts of, your basic tips and tricks. So all of the adventure handouts and information are over here in the sidebar. I also have, of course, pre-generated characters at different levels. So we've got your cleric, your fighter, your rogue, and your wizard, 4 classics, and they come in 3 delightful flavors, levels 1, 2, and 3. And technically, you actually get options for subclasses at level 3. So we have 2 pre-generated subclass options, so you get a taste of what that talent branch is for new players without being overwhelmed with too many choices. When you want to go to a particular area, let's have a look at that Caves of Chaos setting. How do you know which pre-generated character to give them? How do you know what level each of these little mini dungeons is at? Well, it tells you right here on the GM layer. This is Cave A. It's for level 1+. You can click into the handouts on the side here that tell you everything you need to know. They give you tips. They also tell you sort of like what to expect running the adventure and guide you with descriptions of all the areas that you're going to enter. So let's have a look at Kobold Cave A. Now you can see these maps are set up. You can minimize this for ease with all of your tokens pre-prepared and in the places they are supposed to be on the map, and anything that is hidden like traps or treasure is on your GM layer. So I can come down here to the GM layer, and now I can right click this to change layer to the token layer, and then as soon as my players step in, they will be met with a pit trap Or, of course, there's the opposite side where I could also review something nice to my players if I feel like it, like treasure. Pro subscribers get access to dynamic lighting that's all pre-prepared. So dynamic lighting is what gives players the agency to explore and discover at their own risk. So if they're outside of the cave, it's not going to reveal what's inside until they walk in and are able to see, oh no, there's a kobold warrior guarding the entrance to the cave. It's one thing that I find really increases the likelihood that people will push in and, press the red button, as it were, when you're running them through games. And it's also a really great tool for player agency because I don't have to constantly be worried about what they can see. Everything comes preset up in the module when you purchase it. Now you know where to start encounters because each of these maps in the starter set tells you where to place the tokens to start off. One of the best things about the Roll20 VTT is that everything happens right here on this screen. I don't need to have a whole bunch of other tabs open. No more tab-pocalypse required. I can just right-click if I'm a player and open up my character sheet here, and I can also minimize it as well to keep it out of the way until it's my turn again so that I can stay involved in the action. Now, from your character sheet, you can do all of your attack rolls. It clearly says what they are, what the attack roll is, what the damage is, but the best part is Roll20 handles the math for you, so you can stay focused on telling a great story. I can roll my greatsword attack, and when it pops up in the side here, I can choose to do damage or to use graze with my weapon mastery. You can toggle on weapon masteries or effects like rage to make sure that everything is calculated within the sheet. The other thing you can do is toggle on whether something is advantage or disadvantage, or have it query you as to what you're rolling with when you go. All they have to do is open their sheet and start playing. It's all right there for them. The same is true when it comes to managing your stat blocks for your NPCs. So let's move this fighter out of the way and have a look at this kobold warrior. I can go ahead and open up the character sheet for them, and boom, I have my kobold stat block. And same thing, I just click and it rolls it right here quietly to me as a whisper, so nobody else knows my secrets, and I can roll damage from there as well. One of the things that can be really tough is when you're in bigger battles, figuring out who's got what damage taken from them. So the nice thing about Roll20 is they handle it's me, I'm a part of this. We handle the math as well. So let's say we were in a fight, and this fighter is attacking this kobold. He did go ahead and roll a 20, not natural, dirty 20, still respectable, and he does 9 slashing damage. Now, of course, we know right here that the total HP for this NPC is 7, and their AC is 14. So we know it hit immediately. The math is taken care of for me. And it would do everyone's individual math. And I love this because it means that I don't have to remember like whether it was Kobold A who had 3 hit points left or Kobold B who's restrained. I can go ahead and mark those sorts of things right here. The other option that I have is looking up rules. Let's say I need to know what restrained is. With the digital rulebook, all you do is go into this tab here, type in restrained, find the version of it that's from the book you're looking for. In my case, Player's Handbook 2024. And then I'm going to go down to conditions. Here we go, and we've got restrained. And voila! We now can see what the rules are for restrained, how attacks and saving throws are affected, and you can move on with your gameplay. So let's have a look at another one of our settings. We also, of course, have the keep on the Borderlands. All of the different areas are listed for you so that you can pull up each of them here from handouts. You have characters, you have the descriptions that you need, and all of that right here at your fingertips. You can even just keep it minimized so that you can focus on chatting with people and then pull it up when you're ready to see it again. You also have down here, if you wanted to share a player handout, like some art. Here we go, and I can, with the click of a button, make that pop up real big on everyone's screen. One of my favorite tricks to show more art from the game is to use the Shift-Z shortcut to select and share the token big on the screen for the gathered throng. Look at him. What a fantastic baby. It's really great to see how robust the different options are that you can share with the table on Roll20 to bring people into that sense of place and the story. Let's have a look at the wilderness since we haven't been able to get into that yet. I love this map because it really does show you that this is a whole world you can operate within. All of this green area is wilderness, and you'll see things that are labeled for woods or trail or fens. So now you know where those areas might be in between the keep, which is on this side over here, and of course the Caves of Chaos up here. So while you can play everything separately, the wilderness part of the setting does give you a sense of how to draw those things together and do overland encounters on your way to quests. All right, so let's take a look at one of these wilderness maps just as a little treat. Let's do the bandit ambush. All right, so we have our players in the suggested starting area. Let's say we have indeed conquered our bandit and we're ready to loot this guy. We'll call him Phil. Sorry, Phils of the internet. And I want to determine what the loot should be. One of the cool parts of Heroes of the Borderlands is that you have decks to pull your equipment from. So you go over here to macros, scroll on down to decks, and then I'm going to show my equipment deck. It'll show up down here. If I want to randomize it, I can go ahead and shuffle the deck, and I have Thieves Tools, and when I drag that card out onto the tabletop for everyone to see, it tells them what it is. So the cleric has looted the bandit and found some thieves' tools. While I suspect that she will hand them off to our rogue in the party, for now we're going to add them to her sheet and her inventory. So we right click here to open up the character sheet. I go ahead and look up thieves or thieves tools here in the digital rulebook, and I scroll down to the area past rules to items. Now I'm going to find the 2024 item, drop it on, boom. Now we have thieves tools, and you can even see it in their inventory. So the same is true for weapons or potions. All of that information is in the rulebook and fully draggable and droppable onto a sheet, and it will maintain and automate all associated roles. The last thing that I want to impress upon you about this adventure is that it's completely setting agnostic. Even though it was inspired by a Greyhawk adventure, I think in 2nd edition, Keep on the Borderlands, and I'm sure you will correct me if that's wrong in the comments. Please do. Even though it's inspired by a Greyhawk adventure, you don't have to set it there. This could be your entry point into the Forgotten Realms or a world entirely of your own making. This is just the start of your world building. So we cannot wait to see how your adventure unfolds right here on Roll20. See you next time.